Hi everyone, welcome back to my Ninja Gaiden Master Ninja Difficulty video guide for Chapter 13. We're on the Fiendish Awakening. So in this beginning part we're dealing with bats, and right away we're going to be doing a Fiend challenge versus 120 Hornets, which I sped up because it's very repetitive and easy, and you don't need much advice except just, use the art of the Inazuma inside the shaft. You can't run all the way up the shaft, otherwise the Hornets are going to get you. You could also stand outside the shaft and use the Dabalachros UTs to dispatch the to dispatch the Hornets and get yourself a lot of money. You'll also have to excuse me. The last video I published had some aspect ratio problems, and I'm trying to fix those. I got a new video graphics card, and the installation went perfectly well, but I still had to adjust the settings in Sony Vegas, and I'm still adjusting them, and I will get it down. It's a little bit of a hassle, but it's really nice to have a higher end graphics card. I don't play games on my PC, but it's nice to have things running more smoothly as far as the video on my rig. So the boss for this chapter is the Awakened Alma, so you very much are going to need to practice on her. She's a bit broken, but she has some ways to take her down. You notice we have a very long health bar as well. I'm not going to be partaking in the Great Bridge Fiend Challenge, where you fight probably about 40 or 50 of the laser crabs, those huge guys, and then about 20 or 30 of the dinosaurs, followed shortly after by around 40 of the berserkers. And I'm sure my math was not right there, but those three enemies need to add up to 120, and it's crazy hard. Very, very, very tough. You get a Lives of a Thousand Gods for doing it, but we'll be one short. We'll have got every upgrade in this game except for that one, and that should take us through the game. It would be nice. I gave it my try. I gave it my best shot, but it's way too hard. It's beyond my skills at this current time. I might be able to do it later. This door was a door that was locked earlier in the game. We acquired the tablet of the Red Stream from this area, if you'll recall, and I didn't go to the left once I grabbed the tablet of the stream, that red tablet. But if I had done that in Chapter 10, the Aqueduct, which I finally got published earlier this morning, it's now 6 a.m. But anyway, what was I talking about? Yeah, that door is locked, so once you get on the other side of a door, you can open it. Okay, so anyway, I started from that one save point where the chapter ended, and I just said to myself that I'm going to go to the Hayabusa Ninja Village and just do every battle. I really wasn't in a bad mood or a killing mood or anything like that. I just wanted to do all the battles, and on my way there, I just wanted to kill all the battles, or kill all the enemies who make up the battles. So we have some fish up here, so we gotta watch out for these guys. You are gonna get a cutscene eventually with the Vigor Emperor. So I'm gonna just use my tried and true method of the flame wheels. I think I got bit over here. Yeah. See, the fire wheels timed out right there, so I was caught at a bad moment, and that always seems to happen with the ghost fish. So your next immediate objective is to just go to the, if you'll recall, right after Chapter 3, we were on the outskirts of Tyron, and we interacted with that. Here's the cutscene coming up. It'll be in the next area. After Chapter 3, we landed in Tyron on the outskirts of that city, and we came across some kind of an odd device that takes 3 tablets to activate it. now we have the 3 tablets, and we can activate it, and it's going to cause a portal to come into existence, which is going to transport us into the Hayabusa Ninja Village. And unfortunately, there's no battles. It's just a very plaintive arrival in the rain, and the music is very sad and somber, as is the environment. It's that way for if you've ever played Ninja Gaiden Sigma. It's exactly that way when you're Rachel. You go back to the Hayabusa Ninja Village and you don't fight anybody. And then in the next chapter, when you take the helm of Ryu, you do go back to the village and you fight mages and samurai. And those are the 2 of my favorite enemies in this entire game to fight, as well as the other ninjas too. But it was disappointing to not be able to fight a lot of battles in the Hayabusa Ninja Village, since Chapter 2 is my favorite level of all. So, sliding imps here and pill bugs, just take them out in the normal manner. We're going to get a cutscene shortly. And I imagine you used a lot of resources and spent a lot of money in the cavern, so this is a great opportunity to save it at the save point outside the Hall of Balance. Incidentally, here's the cutscene right here. I cut it out, but it occurs right over here. Anyway, do you have to fight fish here? I don't recall. Yes, you do have to fight fish. You don't even have to fight fish. You have iframes the whole time you're doing your flying bird flips up there. But, if you're low on money, you definitely want to go to that save statue outside the Hall of Balance. And like I advised before, don't do the pill bug challenge. Just leave it be. Leave it be for the entirety of the game, and then when you feel you're going to go on to the final 2 bosses after the Marvis Gauntlet, then you can go ahead and finally clear that challenge and get your Talisman of Rebirth. So now I'm going to go back over here and save it, and then through the magic of editing, I just got all my money. So we have these 3 pincer fiends here, who originally were here when we first came down to this area. So this whole area is populated again because we've left. And what happens on these areas is that, any area that's going to clear itself and not repopulate is going to stay that way until you go to another chapter and then retrace your steps on another chapter. So I spent a good half an hour grinding for money, and you're going to have to come back down here, unfortunately, after we deal with the two bosses that are going to signify the end of this level. First boss is his name was escaping me, but I was actually focusing on what particular weapon he has, and I believe he has the flails, and he likes to use the windmill shuriken. We all know who he is. He's the Fiend Ryu clone, so we're going to be coming up on him, and I do some really good I almost take him out completely with one Izuna drop because I was low on health with the UF. Plus I have the Armlet of Potency equipped. We will be getting one more armlet, namely the Armlet of Fortune, from that guy himself, actually. And then we will be facing the awakened form of Alma. She's very tough. But part of me thinks that she is both broken and very well programmed, very aggressive, very evasive, but fundamentally I think she's a little broken. Her and Alma, and then the other Alma clone, Nikkei or Nietzsche. So more enemies out here, and I could have just went to the door, but if you're trying to get that Master Ninja ranking, just clear all the enemies that stand in your path. That's one of the best tips I can give you, aside from doing all the Fiend challenges. Incidentally, the Fiend challenge, the Great Bridge Fiend challenge that I mentioned, it's not going to activate until you interact with that portal in Tyron Square. So once you have the portal activated and you can go to the Hayabusa Ninja Village, you can actually just go. You don't even have to go in that portal. You can go back by Han's Bar in Lower Tyron and just do the Fiend challenge. But it's extremely hard. I've seen a lot of pros do it, but I guess I'm not a pro in that respect. But I will have taken 7 of the 8 Fiend challenges down, which is very good in my opinion. So is this the first time we're seeing these brutes? I can't recall. These guys are very, very fast. They like to block a lot, but what they like to do even more is grab you. I guess it would be their version of the guillotine throw, but it's extremely dangerous. It takes away a lot of your health, and they could just rip right through your guard and do it. So even if you're blocking, try to do a counterattack, you're gonna see that cutscene when they grab you. They just love to grab you. It's unfortunate, but that's how they work. They're very fast too. I mean, they could almost catch up to you even if you're doing that dash evade that I'm doing right here before I switch to the unlabored flawlessness. Oh, another thing I wanted to mention is that there are every time you come up here to backtrack and such, you'll have 3 of these dinosaurs over here. And the first time you kill them, they will yield a talisman of rebirth. So if you're ever looking for one, or you don't want to, have to spend the money, because that's the most expensive item in the game for an actual item. It's a $25,000 item on this difficulty mode. So after I slay these guys, that item is not going to pop up because I already got it earlier in the game when I was doing a bit of backtracking off camera. So, once again, you don't have to kill these guys. It's optional. But I was doing some really powerful hits. See, that guy went down. He was in his green form, meaning he was brand new. And I took him down with the UF because I had a blue essence piece in the area, and I have about 1/3 of my life left. So at this point, I'm very dangerous, but I'm also very susceptible to getting killed, so it's very much a double-edged blade. So now you want to head on down here and save your progress. Okay, so after we save it, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna head over to where Han's Bar is and fill up a little bit because I have enough health. Well, I probably won't after I deal with these brutes here, but I do need some. You see, I have 3 missing flames in my key gauge that I need to fill up for free. Rather do that than pay Muramasa 15,000 to buy 3 low magic potions. So here I'm just dealing with these brutes. You can cancel out of them. I think I get grabbed right over here, and see how they shoot that projectile. And I don't mean to sound vulgar, but it looks like it comes out of their crotch. Not really sure what's going on with these guys, but they're definitely dangerous foes. And here I'm really went from full health to almost gonna die, actually. So I definitely need to go over to Han's Bar and go fill up via that Xbox device. So here's even more of these guys. I can't tell you how much they love to grab. Here I'm just casting the Art of the Inazuma. Just going to cast it all and maybe get a UT if I can. There we go. Turned around and slashed the guys behind me. They kept grabbing, and I'm going to just use this and then fill up for free, because I want every advantage for the upcoming fights. So this is a great game. Excuse me. We're on. I believe this is chapter 13 of 16. So we are entering the home stretch, but don't get impatient and don't try to muscle your way through the end of the game. Otherwise, you're just gonna be really frustrated because you're gonna die quite a bit. Just take it steady. We've been taking it steady the whole game. There's no real need to go fast, because this game is a masterpiece and it's a pleasure to play every aspect of it. I mean, sure, there are parts that need improving or shouldn't be in the game, and or, you know, should have been just cleaned up, and some of them were cleaned up, but yeah. Yeah, the main joy is just playing the game, doing the combat. So I think there's some more brutes over here. See, them and their grabs. It's actually kind of hilarious. But see how fast these guys crawl around. It's just ridiculous how fast they are. They're a very formidable enemy. I will give them that. They're a challenging foe, and I suppose it beats facing those those heavily armored enemies. So anyway, I don't believe there are any more brutes up here, and don't worry about saving it because, as I mentioned before, I think I was actually lamenting the fact that there's just no enemies in the Hayabusa Ninja Village. So here's that device I mentioned. So you just go over to Twin Serpents Plaza, and then insert all 3 stones, and it's going to activate this portal. Now when this portal activates, the portal over by Han's Bar, that's going to activate too, so you can do the Fiend Challenge. But I love this. Even though there's no enemies, I love the environment. I love revisiting this area. You know, even if it is in the rain, the music's lovely. And from this, we're gonna get a Jewel of the Demon Seal. And then don't even worry about saving it. Here's a shop down here. This is a good shop to backtrack to after you do the battle with the Fiend Ryu clone. You can also hit the targets again if you want to. I did, but I didn't want to waste everybody's time by doing that since it's a slow process. But this area right here would have been a great area for a battle. And indeed, there is a battle in Ninja Gaiden Sigma with Ryu. And now we're making our way up here. And I edited out the cutscene where we acquire the True Dragon Sword. But now I have the UF equipped. And I'm going to face the Fiend Ryu clone. Now this guy, he really doesn't like to be Azuna dropped, but I did Azuna drop him, and you may also observe that there are 4 chests in this area. Okay, so 2 of them contain Life of the Gods, 2 of them contain Ghost Fish, so it's random with what you get. But you can jump off the gates here. One of the harder challenges, actually, in the Sigma challenges was trying to kill 3 of these guys in this little closed-off fence area in here. But I didn't make too much headway on this guy for the longest time, and then I got one Azuna drop in, and the damage I did to him was just out of this world. I have the Amulet of Potency on to increase the damage of my throw. So the throw I'm talking about is the Azuna drop, so check this out. It's really badass. Just watch his health. Dat damage. All I can say is dat fucking damage. I was so proud of myself right there. And then even prouder when I saw him fall. Anyway, okay, so here's the last armlet. And I would probably recommend, just to err on the side of safety, just go back and save it real quick before you interact with these boxes, just in case you're like me and you're not very good at these goddamn ghost fish. So here's me, going to town on these ghost fish with the fire wheels, and of course I got bit. So where the Life of the Gods are for you, it may be where they are for me. But it is random, like I said. So there's only 1 chest left, and we all know what's in this one. But I got it anyway, since I don't know. I really don't know why I did that. But I believe I got a Gleaming Blade attack right here. No, excuse me. This is not a Gleaming Blade attack. That's just That's a true Dragon Sword's UT. It has a name that I can't remember right now as it's eluding me. Okay, so yeah, don't worry about saving it now. There's no save point right next to the awakened form of Alma, like right next to it, like there is in Sigma. But there is a nice convenient save point right here in the Ice Cavern. So take advantage of this. And we do have the true Dragon Sword. It's a very powerful weapon. It's going to serve us well in this fight up here. Rachel's imprisoned up on the top of that tower. We need to rescue her. So this boss causes a lot of people problems, and I'm one of those people. But you really should take care of these lackeys first of all. And pretty much all I'm going to do on her is occasionally I'm going to try to fly swallow her, see if I can get her down. The main problem with her though is that once you get her down, she's only down for a very brief few seconds. Like, I don't even think it's 5 seconds. And you've got to hustle over there very, very promptly. So what I like to do is throw Inferno at her to try to knock her down. Now, earlier in this video guide, you saw how successful I was, or rather, I guess I should say how lucky I was that I knocked Alma down with like every one of my Inferno projectile attacks. Another thing to note here is that pretty much she's always going to fall. Like, if you're casting the Inazuma or if you're casting the Inferno, she's always going to fall down if like she's coming right next to you and you're just at the point of when you just activate it, because she'll touch the edge of it and then she'll perforce just fall down. Now you might think that's desirable, but it's actually not, because what happens is she'll fall down and then you've got to go through the whole chanting process of casting the magic, and while you're chanting, she's getting to her feet, and by the time you're done and you've thrown the projectile, she's already on her feet and she's attacking you even more. So do the gleaming, that's the gleaming blade attack right there. Rotate the analog stick 360 and then do the Y hold until you get a charge going. The reason the gleaming blade didn't take too much away from her right there was because I wasn't too close to her. So I have, for Alma and the awakened Alma, I do a very magic heavy approach, meaning I just completely use Nimpo over and over and over again. It's not because I can't do this. It's just that it's very broken and it's not reliable to try to do fly swallows on her, since she pretty much flies by no rules, and that's not fair. And it also leads me to think that this is more than just a little broken, but maybe even a lot broken. So watch out for that projectile. Her little laser beam from her chest is very fast. But in the course of this whole battle, you're casting Nimpo very, very frequently. So there aren't many times when you're actually vulnerable, since we're casting Nimpo so much. But ideally, what you want to have happen, and which you can't control, frustratingly, is that you want to just knock her down. You want to not be too close to her so that she just falls over right away, but you just want to knock her down from afar so that you can get over there within a couple of seconds and get your gleaming blade off. I also do a Zuna drop at one point when she was standing, I think, and it took away a lot of damage from her. It was really remarkable that I got that in. But if you think that this is an insurmountable challenge, trust me, it's not. Even me, who's done this many, many times, it still takes me. It took me like 6 tries to get this to work, and most of the time it's just me being lazy, not healing in time, not being on the ball. So I think if you mash buttons during that, you can get out a little bit faster. So as you've been observing, see, that took away a lot right there. I have the Armlet of the Sun equipped too, by the way, just because we need to take as much damage as we can. So the Gleaming Blade worked really well right there. So as you can observe, I really haven't hit her out of the sky too much. But all the magic attacks that I've thrown at her, you know, I've been chipping away at her health, and I've been getting a few flying swallows and that one Azuna drop. And then this, I think, kills her. So after you clear Alma, we're going to be doing the pyramid puzzle. And I apologize, I lost a reel of footage. You do have to knock down the front wall of this pyramid to seize the Dabulacro, or the Lunar, or an incendiary shuriken. That body has a map right there, a map of the pyramid. You see I opened that box. So this tablet of the water, I placed it back where it was. So just move it from that position to this position here. And then we're going to have a couple fights where we're dealing with these horrible situations with these bugs. And these purple zombie monsters, which are really cool. But they're no different from the other ones we fought. They're very slow. They have a lot of range with their weapons. I mean, look at these weapons. It's really cool. These guys scare the hell out of me. But one of the more interesting designs in this game, and this, of course, this puzzle's not in Sigma. This whole area is not in Sigma. You just go from defeating Alma to the next stage. In fact, I like the one in Sigma better because you fight nightmares and you don't have to do these puzzles. And these rooms are just atrocious because you're trying to jump around the walls, trying to get on landing charges, and you're just bouncing off walls. So what I do is just drop a lot of magic here. So this puzzle can be really confusing if you don't know what to do. Basically, this is just a mandatory fight. There's going to be two of these exact same fights. So once we clear that fight, we're going to be accessing the save statue. So definitely save it. What I did was I actually went back to the previous save point and then just came here because I didn't want to die in the bugs. So over here, you want to grab the tablet of the flame, and that door is going to come down. Now go across the hall. Here's the Life of the Gods. So take the tablet of the flame, place it over here next to the tablet of the water. This door is going to open, and then the moon's halfway filled. We have another battle here. This is the final battle. See, same battle. I'm just going to drop some Nympho because there's just not enough room to fight here. The UF works really well here too. I have the Armlet of Celerity equipped so I can expedite my charges. See how you just bounce off the walls? It's just really bad. You could jump off the monster's head too if you want to stun him. There's just not enough room to fight here. I think I get bit a couple times if they jump on me. Can't get really more annoying than that, except when the ghost fish jump on you or bite you. Yep. At that point, you're just cursing up a storm, breaking your controller to get those fucking guys off you. Anyway, so we have these two tablets there. Now we're gonna go back across the way and get the deity statue. Oh, my bad. It looks like we have to get the tablet of the leaves. Remove that one first. And obviously, this is all arbitrary. It doesn't make much sense. So just grab the deity statue, and then we have the tablet of the leaves. We're just going to move it to the other slot, and then that's the end of the level.